Welcome back to the channel, guys. It's another community yard sale day, and we're going to hit up one community not too far away from us. We're going to try an interesting strategy. We're going to go around the bottom of the sale where there's a lot of sales and then kind of work our way up, hopefully finding more things at this sale, hoping obviously for video games and Lego, amongst other great things that we can throw into our eBay store. So we had a great community yard sale the last time we went out hunting at a community yard sale. Can we repeat that today with great luck? Let's find out. Now, being early at yard sales is not always the best, but in my opinion, I find the best scores at the beginning of the day. It's always good to be an early bird because some of those treasures that might be undervalued, you're likely going to get them more often than not if you go early rather than later in the day. Later in the day is always good when you find a yard sale that has good stuff, but they're a little high on their prices, and you can bundle things up and make it easier for them so they don't have to bring it all inside. That's what I find is better at the end of the day. But if you want those good scores like this at the beginning of the day, holy cow, we're mostly looking for video games and Lego. But of course, if we see LPS, and my wife was awesome enough to actually spot this, I couldn't believe she saw this. I was asking the woman there if she had video games. Then as I'm asking, I notice my wife picks up this gigantic container filled with LPS dolls. It looks like there might have been a few things inside that weren't LPS, but I double checked later on when I went home and I was like, holy crap, there's a ton of LPS. I'm gonna go over that a little bit later in the video. I estimated that there might be around $100 in value there, and honestly, I think there might be more because I pulled out some real gems that you're gonna see later on.
How much is the LPS?
$1. Wow, as I was asking for video games, my wife actually picked this up. It's like 90% LPS. This entire container of LPS is $1 at the sale, and they actually look like they're older LPS. So you never know. I'm gonna have to scan like individually each one and see if there's any 20+ ones to list individually, and then the rest I'll just do as a lot. So this could be anywhere between like $50 on the low end for these, all the way up to potentially like $150 to $200. This is insane. And about 10 minutes into when the yard sale should have actually started, it was like 9:10, it started at 9 o'clock, we did find another yard sale that did have something. I was actually about to walk away. My wife noticed that there was like a box that had some media, some CDs and stuff, and she said, oh, I saw some white stuff. Maybe that white case is a Wii game. And she was right. She found a ton of Wii games, and we ended up bundling all of them. She only wanted 50 cents a piece. When she said that, I was like, what?
How much are the games?
The games? I don't know. 50 cents?
Are you serious? And she said that my wife had the Mario Kart in her hand too. I was like, deal, 50 cents a piece, that is a great deal. Unfortunately, from all the games we did grab, which was a Super Mario Brothers Wii, we had the Mario Kart, we had a Six Flags game, and a hip hop dance. Those ones I just got kind of on a whim, and they weren't really that great. But when we're walking on our way to the car, we open up the Mario Kart case, we realized it was empty, so I ended up going back to see if she had the game. She said she might have donated it with the Wii earlier, and I was like, oh no, because I would have bought the Wii as well, and then we would have got a Mario Kart inside there. So I was like, maybe it's in one of those cases. I crack open the Kart case as well. The Mario Kart case might be able to sell for like $10 to $15, so that's not too bad. Obviously, I might hold on to it until I find a loose disc, which you never know. I just might actually in the wild. After that, we went through a spell of really bad luck. It was about 6 or 7 sales that we drove to that didn't really have anything until finally we found one yard sale that I would have just completely passed up, but she had some clothing items folded on the table. I went through looking for vintage stuff, and I did find a vintage Bryan Adams 1995 tour tee, and honestly, I was looking up some sold comps to this and I couldn't believe how much the 1994 one sells for. Geez, it was like $100 to $150. This one's the 1995 one, and I can't find any sold comps that are exactly for this one. I did find one that had like a best offer accepted, but it was over $100. It might have been like $50, I'm not sure. It's got a cut tag. It definitely has some distress, and there is some imperfection in the shirt, like some holes in the tee, but I still think I might be able to get at least $30 to $40 for this, and I only spent $3, so that is not bad. Let me know in the comment section though, because it's not single stitch, and that kind of worries me, but it does look legit. It does look like it's an old tee. It's got all the distress marks on it. It looks old. It just feels old. The paint feels old as well. So I don't know. Let me know in the comment section whether or not you think it was a good buy for $3. After that, we found one other yard sale that we would have just passed by, and we noticed that there was a little container filled with little goodies, little toys, stuff from the 80s, like 90s and stuff, and we did find a nice Beetlejuice figure that's from the 90s. Not great. This is something I just bring to toy shows. We sell a lot of 80s and 90s toys. I might just put $5 on it at a toy show and see if it sells. There's a lot of vintage toy hunters in my city, and they might be interested in something like that. And the last sale that we actually bought something at during the day was a sale that had another kind of toy rummage bin. And there is Build-A-Figure Marvel Legends parts. I noticed that right away because I'm a collector of Marvel Legends, as you can see right here and even on the wall. So when I saw that he had Build-A-Figure pieces and he wanted like $1 a piece, I was like, yeah, all day. I was just grabbing them all. These are just great for me to hold on to if I ever find more pieces in the wild, or if I like find other pieces at like toy shows, which I go sell at quite a lot. You never know, there could be rummage bins there where I can get Build-A-Figure pieces and try to complete some of this stuff. Really awesome. Probably about 5 on the low end for some of these pieces, all the way up to like 17, which might be the most expensive, which is a lizard torso piece. That Build-A-Figure on its own is worth like 120 to 170 Canadian. Unbelievable. Yeah, if I ever complete that Build-A-Figure, I'll be very happy because I didn't buy the way for that one. So great. We bundled it all together. $10 is all he wanted. We paid him $10, and that was it for the day pretty much. After that, we went home. We are back at home after the community yard sale, and this is the next day. You're probably wondering why I have the baby face. Well, I shaved, and I look like a goddamn worm. I really regret it. What happened was my electric shaver, I was trying to just do a little trim. It died like halfway through. Just like, and then it shut off, and I was like, well, maybe the battery's like, I don't know, maybe the rechargeable battery's dead or something. So I charged it. And then 2 hours later, I tried again, same thing. Ooh. And then I'm like, I don't want to have my whole face like half shaved one side, then the other half is like longer. I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to get a razor and just go all over the face. So apologies in advance. You're probably screaming at the TV right now at the horror that you're witnessing, which is my face right now. I apologize. It is what it is. I gotta be okay with that. So let's check out everything we got today. Great yard sales overall. We probably spent maybe an hour and a half tops at yard sales, and we didn't really get much. I'm trying to get as little as I possibly can now at yard sales because we have such a massive inventory for like our size, and I don't really ever want to get into the point where when it comes to space, I have to look for storage units to buy them and pay like a monthly fee for all of my eBay store and everything that I'm reselling. If it gets to that point, I'd rather just upgrade and get like a slightly larger house with a bigger storage space. So until then, I want to really manage what we're having, and we're in the summer slowdown season as well, so things are selling slower. So as much as summer is like the buying season, I got to be really careful about the stuff that I do buy. With that being said, let's finally go over everything that we did get here today. Starting off with the video games, which is not too bad. We ended up getting, well, 4 technically, because this one was empty, unfortunately, but the case on its own, we could probably get between $10 to $15 Canadian for this. This probably about $25 to $35 Canadian because it is actually complete with its manual and everything, so that is actually really awesome. Now, I went back to grab this, or just like check out the other games to see if the Mario Kart was in there. When I opened this up, I was like, oh, okay, Wii Sports, that'll do. So we ended up just grabbing this one as well. We have a hip hop dance here. Actually sells for like around $10. Not really a great buy. This one also sells for like $6. I probably could have left those behind. The LPS was the first buy of the day, and I have to say, I was super impressed with what we ended up getting. I saw these inside, and I didn't even know what the heck these were. Their eyes do look a little bit like the modern LPS, like those little twinkles in their eyes. And I did a few Google Lens scans with these, and I found out that these are actually a vintage 1990s LPS, like the first line. So nothing here is super expensive, but I might just law all these up for like $25 to like $40. Maybe I'll list it for like $35 and have best offer enabled and see what I can actually get. There's actually a few semi-modern LPS dolls here, like some more like baby ones. These ones are not really vintage, unfortunately, but I don't know, I might add these to the lot. These ones here were stuff that are like under $10. There is some more like vintage, like mid-2000s LPS dolls in here, so I might lot all these up together with this, maybe for about maybe $50 to $80, and these ones for about like $30. So that's about $110 right here. These are actually really cool. These are about like 15 to 20 each, and we have 4 of those. And we have these 2, which were the most expensive. This one being the most expensive. This is about $40 Canadian. A lot of sold comps around that price. This one is like about $60, $65 Canadian, and there's not a lot of sold comps on this, so this one is super rare. So if you're looking at the amount that we got for $1 for this tub of LPS, we were looking at probably between $200 to $250 in value. So I don't know. I have to say, it might have been one of the greatest buys we've ever had at a yard sale. And what's even more insane about this in general is the fact that she was just like, $1, like she didn't care. But it's odd. Like, you're looking at LPS dolls from like the 90s that go all the way up to like maybe like the 2010s era. So this is like 2 decades of LPS stuff all in one jar, one container for $1. That is insane. I don't know if I'll ever get a better deal like that for these LPS stuff. All the rest of the stuff here is just kind of random stuff we got at other yard sales. This is probably my favorite personally because I collect Marvel Legends, and we have a bunch of Build-A-Figure pieces here that I might have to try to find the pieces for to build these. This one right here, if I have the complete figure, it's like $120 to $200 for this figure Canadian. So this torso piece on its own is like around $15 to $20, and all the other pieces here that you see are maybe like $5 each. We got 13 pieces for $10, so a really good buy here. The Bryan Adams shirt, this is the last thing I want to talk about. So this is interesting because it's not single stitch, though it is $19.95. It's like a tour shirt here. It says Bryan Adams, $19.95. So it is vintage, but it's not single stitch. I saw like some comps here for like, there's one that was like $80 and it was like best offer. So I don't really know how much it actually sold for. Unfortunately, this one does not have its tag. It was cut, which really annoys me, but overall it still feels vintage. I don't think this is a reprint because it was an older household that was selling this, so I think it is vintage. But if you guys know more about this than I do, I don't know, it's really cool. If it was the 1994 version, which is like literally looks exactly the same as this, it would sell for like $50 to $60 more. I still think this is a really good buy, and I'm really happy with this overall. Anyways, guys, what do you think of this yard sale haul? Let me know down below in the comment section. And of course, with that being said, may your carts always be full.